Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist Alfonso over here at Mental Matters, and I need to let you all know something about relationships and healing. This may actually save the relationship that you're in now, or maybe help you not to get into another toxic relationship. You guys hold on, I'm going to tell you something that you need to know. I believe it's going to help your life. Be right back. So guys, I have been doing relationship counseling, oh my God, almost 30 years now? And there are some things, if you talk to most relationship therapists, they'll tell you the exact same thing in terms of what I'm getting ready to say. They say, yeah, I've heard it all before. That is when we try to tell someone who's come out of a relationship that's just taken so much from them, we try to tell them, you're not ready for another relationship yet. Now, here is the thing. As a psychotherapist, I can tell you that people oftentimes feel like they are stronger than they really are. And in some cases, that may be true. But as it relates to relationships, there is a tried and true formula that we know will work. That is that you give yourself time to heal from that last toxic relationship, that relationship that was replete with physical violence, emotional violence, financial violence, manipulation, anything like that. People tend to think that they are in a good relationship when the reality is that they're just in a relationship or in a relationship mindset that's better than the last relationship. Here's what happens. When you have not sufficiently allowed yourself to heal from the toxicity of that last relationship, invariably it's going to show up in a relationship that would otherwise be healthy. What are you talking about, friendly neighborhood therapist? Let me put it this way. If you're in a relationship, let's say there was manipulation, let's say there was abuse. There is a difference between your brain and your mind. Your brain is what we can see on imaging. Your mind is a product of that. It's how we process and deal with information that comes to us. In our brains, it seeks what we call homeostasis. In our brain, we want things, or the brain wants things to have balance. It just wants to be okay. But the trauma is in the mind, and ultimately it can go to the subconscious. Just because you're not thinking about the abuse from that last relationship doesn't mean that it's no longer there. It may not be on your mind, but it's still in your brain. And as I've had to tell a patient before, the brain will kind of tuck things away and tell your mind, hey, everything is good. But in that relationship that you're now in, if you've not properly resolved those triggers and everything else from the last relationship, that brain is going to open that Pandora's box, and that person who is otherwise healthy may say something or do something that's going to remind you. It's going to trigger you from what happened before. And what happens is that your mind will start to read a situation into today's situation, even though it's innocuous, no big deal, just normal relationship kind of conflict. Your mind has now triggered your brain to open Pandora's box, and you start seeing this person who's otherwise healthy as being an extension of the last one, or the one that hurt you. That's why we always tell people you're not ready. You may think you are, but in some cases you have to stop listening to your own self and trust the professionals. I have told folk, hey, this person that you're with now, wonderful, met them, they seem like they're pretty good, but I'm still seeing some signs that you're not over what that last person did to you. And because people seek to be loved, they seek to have someone to see them or to treat them with the highest regard. You want to be booed up. You want to have somebody that you lay next to and everything else. You'll start to think that because this person said something or did something that reminds you of the old person, you may now start to see this person as a threat to your mental health. Believe it or not, there are things that we talk about like relationship PTSD. And what that means is that you were traumatized by a person in a previous relationship And like I said, your mind is not thinking about it, but it's still in the reserves, the archives of your brain. If something happens that could trigger a traumatic event from the last relationship, instead of talking about it to cognitively and rationally resolve it, you'll go into a protective mode where your mind will say, hey, we see danger here. We now better switch up and do something about this. I don't usually talk a lot about relationships in terms of my own personal relationships. So I'll just say it this way. I was in a relationship with an otherwise healthy woman some years back, and she was open about her trauma, and I can see that there were some triggers that was there, but I kept having to defend myself when I wasn't doing anything because of the trauma that she had experienced. If I would do anything that reminded her of the old trauma, I can see her shut down. I can see her start to respond in a way that was concerning. We did talk about it before, but ultimately what happened was that she had not healed from that last relationship. And I had said, hey, listen, I'm going to be here for you. Whatever you need, I'm going to try to help. But ultimately, even though I am a therapist, I cannot be your therapist in this relationship. Wonderful young lady, and I will not say anything that's identifying, but she was a wonderful young lady. But the reality is or was that she had not gotten healed from that last relationship. And she did go on to say, hey, yeah, I know I brought some of that old baggage there. No harm, no foul. It's just that if you don't do the work, and when I say do the work, I mean really allow yourself to sit in a therapeutic modality paradigm that allows you to really kind of go down, look at that stuff where your brain has kind of suppressed it so that you're not thinking about it. If you don't do that work, it can come up and it can ruin an otherwise healthy and beautiful relationship. I tell my folk sometimes, it's not that it's the wrong woman or the wrong man, it's the wrong time. If in fact you don't work to resolve those issues that you have from before, it's just a matter of time before they come up in this relationship. Hey guys, listen, I try to bring you content that I know will help your life, save your life, help your relationship, save your relationship. But we on this end of the office, on this side, we can't be the ones to do more work than you. The thing that you have to do first is not allow your pride to get in the way and to accept the fact that even though you want to be in a more healed place, you're still dealing with some of the vestiges of that last relationship. Give yourself a gift today. Allow yourself to shut it down, not seek to be in another relationship until you have dealt with that trauma from the past. Hey guys, you know what I love to tell you. First of all, I love you. Don't have to know you in order to be madly in love with you, but some people go all their lives without hearing that they are loved. I really do love you. Don't have to know you in order to be madly in love with you. Secondly, if possible, if at all possible, go out of your way today to help pick somebody else up. Reach down and help pick them up. Last thing I always want to let you know is that anytime someone tells you that the way to get ahead is by putting somebody else down, as we used to say back in the day where I grew up, don't drink that Kool-Aid. Don't do that. Because you don't have to hurt somebody in order to live your best life. You guys have an amazing day on purpose. Really do love you.